Martin side by side with Jeff Gordon. And here comes Jimmy Johnson following his Hendrick teammate in the 5.
These drivers really searching for grip anywhere that they can right now. Just trying to get a run. We're getting down 50 laps to go now.
3/4 of the way through the race. And you can see side by side again, Jimmy Johnson along with Jeff Gordon. Casey Kane's right behind Jimmy. And now Kane's going to slide underneath, make it 3 wide coming out of 2.
And after they get finished battling this out here, they're going to see Matt Kenseth coming. He was 17th on the restart. He has already caught this group. He's got 4 fresh tires.
And remember, from 17th on back, everybody came in. There is Kenseth as we go back up front. Clint Boyer now down on the low side, still in that 2nd position.
Yeah, Rod Newman had passed him out of turn 2, but Clint was able to get a run back on and get back in between these teammates.
Top 4 are trying to check out on 5th place, Casey Kane. Here comes Kyle Busch shooting down low, 3 wide again. Battle for the race lead. Boyer wants it back. Tony's hanging on to it. Here comes Newman. He is tucked up right underneath the 14.
Yeah, he knows where his paycheck comes from.
That's right.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson back just behind this, lost a couple of spots. He got in a bad position there down into 1.
Johnson has dropped back to 9th while all this is going on. Smoke takes 4 wheels below the line. Boyer follows. Slides back up to the top of the track. There's your side-by-side for 2nd. Here's the group behind them as they go again into turn number 1. Here comes Boyer alongside the 39. Look at how many different lines these guys are able to take. There's Kenseth as he is now getting past the 48, and that would put Kenseth all the way up into the 7th position if he can make the pass stick. But here comes Jimmy right back. Jeff Gordon also in the mix with Kevin Harvick. 4-car battle. They're all looking for 7th spot. All 4 cars in the chase. And here comes Denny Hamlin. So let's make it 5.
Saw Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson almost make contact right there if they didn't.
You can see in that group Elliott Sadler, who along with Kenseth was in to get 4 tires that last time. I have to think that that's going to be a benefit as they get some more laps to run here.
Sadler, you saw him on the high side there. They come down the long backstretch. There's the top group in single file led by race leader Tony Stewart. But this is where it gets really interesting. Here comes Harvick. He wants to look underneath the 48, and Jimmy slams the door.
See Kenseth right here. He's really making this difficult for Jimmy Johnson to go around. I think this is exactly what we talked about.
Trouble. Kyle Busch. We have a caution on the track, the 7th.
Another engine.
And it is a smoke.
Motor here, Motor. I knew it was coming. 5 laps ago, something happened in the intake. I knew it was coming. There you have it.
That's
well,
a heartbreaker.
If anybody wasn't sure that the championship was over, it's certainly over now.
Kyle was about 72 points back of the race or the championship lead at the point that this happened. I disagree with him that it's over, but there's a lot of guys that are running out of toes to shoot.
We talked about how hard this track is on engines. It surely has been today. I mean, he's taken out 2 of the championship contenders.
Greg Biffle lost an engine a lot earlier in this race. He is officially or unofficially listed in 41st position.
Carl Edwards had kind of a crazy thing with a distributor. Put him down a bunch of laps.
There's a kaboom, 2nd time today. And Joe Gibbs Racing still, even though they've dominated, winning the last 6 nationwide races here, have never won here in Sprint Cup action. Kyle, very frustrated. All right, let's check over in the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer.
Thanks, Marty. A lot of times after the restarts, you're going to have these problems because when the drivers go through the gears, occasionally what happens, they tag the valve right here. what happens, you got less than 100 thousandths right here between that piston and that valve. And what it does, it goes down and actually tags it. Like he said, he felt something going wrong, and if that valve was bent, the engine probably wasn't performing. And when it come back up to set down on that seat, when it doesn't set down 360 degrees all the way around, it hits at an angle, pops head off that valve, and that's the end of that engine. Guys?
It's the end of the day for the 18, and he was looking for his 5th career double. Winning the nationwide race yesterday is not going to happen today. And as we pointed out, his championship hopes are going to take a big hit. As it stands right now, he would be at least, well, right this moment, 156 points behind. So here we go. 45 laps to go, and Jamie Little, they're coming your way.
Well, Tony Stewart says he's still just a little bit loose, but that was better on the forward bite. He needs a little more side bite, so a little bit of a wedge adjustment like they've been going. 4 tires and fuel. It's been a good points day. They got to keep it up, Vince.
Clint Boyer, your leader in the middle of the screen, he said it's a little tight, some good, some bad. 3 and 4 is good, hurts him in 1 and 2. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment and a half round out of the left rear. Dave?
Mark Martin gives up 4th position. They're going to put a quarter round of wedge back in because it was a little free. But as Mark says, it's hard to beat these guys. Let's see if they can get any positions on pit road and take care of some of that. 4 tires back on the 5. Here's the race off.
As they come across the stripe, Juan Pablo Montoya takes 2 tires, picks up 18 spots. Look at the logjam coming off. The loser, Casey Kane, as he drops 5. Mears also takes 2. But with 45 laps remaining, we'll have to find out what happens. And you Jeff Gordon fans are not going to want to hear this. Too fast entering. So a penalty for Gordon. And that is going to be a blow to his championship potential. We'll find out how bad when we come back.
The Toyota Fuel Mileage Minute with NASCAR Sprint Cup crew chief Greg Zipadelli. Brought to you by Toyota Trucks. Stop number 4 in the chase is the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California.
Fontana is one of the great racetracks that we go to here in the chase because it has multiple grooves.
Oh, it's good to be out here in California.
Big long straightaways. Pit boxes are humongous. It's got a beautiful pit road. Horsepower is always needed. I mean, that's your friend there. It's a long race. It's hard on motors. We're going to see motor failures. That'll probably be the place that we see it.
Think about what you need for the end of this thing, all right?
Tires, I think, outweigh fuel mileage at Fontana. You're in the gas there so long that, you know, if you just start rolling out of your throttle a lot sooner, use less brake things, there's some ways to stretch your fuel mileage at a place like that pretty good.
Brought to you by Toyota Trucks. Toyota's been making trucks for over 70 years.
Welcome back to the Pepsi Max 400 at California. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. And while we got a quick moment, let's talk about the calendar because NASCAR Now is coming up tonight at 10 Eastern on ESPN2. And then the finals of the Toyo Tires NHRA Nationals, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. The NASCAR Nationwide Series next stop will be in Charlotte, presented by Hellman's, Friday night, 8 Eastern on ESPN2. And then on Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Our coverage starts at 7 with NASCAR Countdown. It'll be the Sprint Cup Bank of America 500, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kevin Conway got the wave around as we now have a total of 30 cars on the lead lap. Let's quickly show the contact that was coming out of pit road.
Busy place down there. When all these cars start coming out at the same time, it's pretty wide pit road.
That's the 20 and the 56 right here as they start to exit at the same time. The 98's right there.
That's just not wide enough right there.
And Truex does have some damage right there on the right corner. And
Logano got it from both sides.
Here's Martin saying thank you very little.
Oh, my.
And then he brake checked him.
Yeah, and then that sliding that left front's not
a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, Dave Blaney will get the lucky dog, and he gets back on the lead lap. Or I should not say that. He's now 2 laps down. He was 3. Let's get a quick radio of the 24 on Jeff Gordon after the speeding penalty.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I mean, I knew I was right there on the edge, but I didn't think I'd be over.
Well, Gordon, of course, going to go to the tail end of the longest line. As we get back to green flag racing, it'll be Montoya up front. Remember, he only took 2. Stewart, Newman, Boyer, Martin. Look at Jimmy going down low. Here we go, 3 wide again. Kurt Busch is going to follow Johnson.
13 of Casey Mears, another one of those cars that just took 2 tires there. Picked up a lot of spots.
Montoya with Tony Stewart all over him. They come down the backstretch. Further back, you see again 3 wide. Here we're going to go 3 wide for the lead. Boyer wants it.
Stewart wanted a little more there as he drove it down in. Here comes Ryan Newman to the middle.